All right, so let's see if the audio is okay. Yeah, perfect. 1 second. Yeah. How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great. I am Dorkradu and I am back with another daily analysis. As always, we are going to start off with the Forex analysis. And to be more exact, I'm going to start off with AUD USD that triggered these two buy limits here. We have this very beautiful bullish setup, and as we can see, both of the entries are running in some nice profits. Entry number 2 smashed TP1 right here, and entry number 1 is approaching TP1. Okay, very beautiful setup. The reason we took this one is very simple. I saw a aggressive break of structure to the upside. I also saw that before the break, liquidity was swept right here, and after the break, I was able to identify this fair value gap that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bullish trader order block. I also saw that the daily and the 4-hour were both bullish on the trader graph, and lastly, the pullback was also very nice and corrective. Now, all we gotta do is wait and see how it will unfold. On AUD JPY, we have another bullish setup looking pretty similar. Okay, we have a aggressive break. Before the break, we swept liquidity as well. After the break, I identified this small fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bullish trader order block. The daily and the 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph. And lastly, we can see that the pullback is very nice and corrective as well. On Euro USD, we have once again another bullish setup, continuing this uptrend with this bullish break of structure right here that took price higher and left imbalance behind. We can see that the pullback is very nice and corrective. Daily is bullish on the trader graph, and we have this fair value gap right here lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bullish trader order block. Okay, so looking very, very beautiful. On CHF, another bullish setup. Once again, a continuation of an uptrend with this bullish break of structure right here that took price higher and left imbalance behind. I was able to identify this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The daily and the 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph, and the pullback looks very nice and corrective as well. USD CAD with a bullish opportunity. Okay, we have a textbook break of structure right here caused by this bullish leg. I then was able to identify this fair value gap that is lining up with the point of interest. I also saw that the trader graph was fully bullish, which is great. And we also have a bullish trader order block right here lining up with the area of interest. And now, the last step that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. USD JPY with another bullish setup. Once again, a textbook break towards the upside. Imbalance was left behind. I identified this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bullish trader order block, and they are both lining up perfectly with the area of interest. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the graph, and now the last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. On NZD USD, we have another bullish opportunity. Okay, we can see once again here we have a continuation of an uptrend with this bullish break of structure right here that took price higher very impulsively and also left this small fair value gap behind that is lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bullish trader order block. If we look to the left, liquidity was swept beforehand as well, which is a great added confluence. Daily and the 4-hour are both bullish on the graph, and the pullback looks very nice and corrective as well. GBP JPY with a textbook bullish setup, aggressive break, fair value gap was left behind, that is lining up with the point of interest. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the graph, and lastly, we now need to wait for that corrective pullback to see if we get it. On GBP USD, another bullish setup looking pretty similar to GJ. Aggressive break, imbalance was left behind. We have a unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. Daily and 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph, and so far this pullback looks pretty corrective to me. Okay. On Euro JBP, we have a bearish opportunity. Okay, right here we have a bearish break of structure caused by this bearish leg. After the break, imbalance was left behind. I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that is lining up with the area of interest, with the premium area of this bearish range. We can see that the graph is bearish, fully bearish, and now all we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. That's the final step. On GBP/USD, super textbook bullish setup, aggressive break, fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest, 4-hour bullish on the trader graph, and now the last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. Okay, that would be ideal. Moving forward, GBP CAD with another very textbook bullish setup, super aggressive uptrend. Okay, and right here we have a continuation of that aggressive break, unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the trader graph, and once again, now the last thing that we are waiting for is a corrective pullback. On NZD, with a bearish opportunity, okay, we have a very aggressive break towards the downside. We broke multiple lows with this bearish leg right here. Before the break, we can see that liquidity was swept as well, okay. And after the break, I identified this unmitigated order block that, as we can see, is lining up perfectly with the discounted area. The graph is fully bearish, and the last thing that we need to wait for now is a corrective pullback. Euro NZD with a textbook bearish setup. We have a very nice and aggressive break towards the downside. After that, I identified this unmitigated order block that is lining up with the area of interest. I also saw that the trader graph is fully bearish, and now lastly we need to wait for a corrective pullback. And the last Forex pair is USD/CHF with a textbook bullish setup. We have a very clean and aggressive break towards the upside. We have a fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. We have the trader graph fully bullish, and now the last thing that we need to wait for is that corrective pullback. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's Forex analysis right here. As always, if there's any other questions, you should reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold, where currently I cannot see any setups, hence why we won't waste any time on it. We'll just leave the chart as is, and we'll wait for some fresh structure. On silver though, we have a bullish setup that just triggered our first entry for a beautiful sniper reaction. Okay, it is running in some profits as we speak. The reason I took this setup is very simple. I saw a clean and aggressive break, a fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest, daily and 4-hour both bullish on the trader graph, and lastly a corrective pullback as well. And now we just need to wait and see how it will play out. Okay, and yeah, on that note, we'll end today's metals analysis right here. As always, if there's any further questions, you should reach out on Discord. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US30, where we have a setup running in some profits as we speak. Entry number 2 smashed TP1 right here, okay, and entry number 1 is approaching TP1 as we speak, okay. The reason I took this setup is very simple. I saw a very clean break towards the upside. I saw this huge fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The daily was also bullish on the trader graph, and the pullback was also very nice and corrective. Okay, hence why I pulled the trigger and I took this setup, and now we just gotta wait and see how it will play out. On SPX, although the price is looking bullish, we have a huge wick right here, and I cannot really identify a bullish range that we could trade. And I think it's the same story on Nasdaq as well. Yeah, although price is looking pretty bullish, right here I don't really have anything that we could mark up, okay, and trade. And because of that, we'll just basically focus on the assets where we have clear setups and keep it super simple. And on that note, we'll end today's indices analysis right here. And as always, make sure to reach out on Discord if there's any other questions. And lastly, I will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin, where we have a textbook bullish setup. We have a very clean and aggressive break. We have a fair value gap lining up with the point of interest. We have a liquidity sweep before the break as well. And we also have a very nice and corrective pullback. Okay, so it is respecting all of our rules. On Ethereum, we have another very impulsive, aggressive break towards the upside that caused this bullish range. Of course, the trader graph is fully bullish as well. And now we just gotta wait for a continuation of this already started corrective pullback. Okay, on Dogecoin, we have another bullish setup, very aggressive break, fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. So far, a very nice and corrective pullback. Daily and 4 hour both bullish on the graph, and we also swept liquidity beforehand. Okay, so yeah, definitely a promising looking setup. Now we're just gonna wait for a continuation of this corrective pullback. Hey brother, Thado Pila said hola. Hola, I think that's in Spanish, right? Happy to have you, brother. Welcome to the session. XRP, super similar to Doge. Okay, once again, aggressive break, fair value gap lining up with the point of interest. Right below it, we have a bullish trader order block as well. Liquidity was swept before the break, okay, right here. And the 4 hour is bullish on the trader graph as well. And the pullback was also very nice and corrective. And lastly, we have Solana with another bullish setup looking pretty similar to the other two. Clear break, fair value unmitigated order block, this time lining up with this bullish trader order block, and they are both lining up with the point with the area of interest. Okay, liquidity was swept beforehand as well right here. Daily and 4 hour are both bullish on the trader graph, and the pullback was also a very nice and corrective one. Okay, and yeah, on that note, we'll end today's crypto as well as the overall daily analysis right here. As always, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all on the dork side. Take care.